Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Casual Sports Talk Podcast, AFC North and West divisions previews, and now we got a couple gentlemen right over here, that supports a no free-peat for the Chiefs. Here's Douglas.
Huh. About that right, Stu. Can't have Mahomes have 4 Super Bowls before he's 30.
Oh, yeah, we do not.
And by no three-peat, I assume Stuart means the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl and crush the three-peat opportunity for those Chiefs, right?
No, even better, they're going to beat the Brownies.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with that too. Let's go. Lions-Browns Super Bowl, that's what everyone wants. Battle of the Great Lake, for sure.
Exactly. The Browns will end the Chiefs run, the Lions will end the Browns. It'll be great.
Yes. And we have someone right down here in the bottom, and we got a gentleman right over here who will always be helpful for Deshaun Watson. Here's Chris.
Thank you, Stu. You brought that up last week, and I definitely declined it because, I'm hopeful for the Browns. Deshaun Watson, he's our quarterback, starting quarterback at the moment. I mean, I won't always be hopeful for him, but I'll always be hopeful for my hometown Brownies. Let's go.
Give us Flacco. Give us Flacco.
Well, there's no Flacco. Flacco's gone now.
Flacco's with the Colts, right? Let's trade for him during the season.
Yeah, unfortunately. But like I said, I guess we can talk about we're in the stocks right now. We're in the final weeks. This is our final stocks for the previews for this week. And we're doing our rankings right over here. So pay attention, everybody, including Christopher, about why the rankings right over here, why we put them right here. So number 1 is your season's trash. Your season's over. You don't even have a 2% odds of getting it. You're getting that number 1 and number 2 overall pick. You're just bad. Number 2, you're just bad team, but you have like a 5% chance of making the playoffs. So you're going to be like number 4 to number 5. 3 is basically you're beating up on bad teams and you're just kind of bad. And you're just kind of in that weird middle. 4 is your mid. It's a mid team. It's like, probably not going to make the postseason. No hopes right there. Denver Broncos is probably a good example, just saying, of last season. And number 5 is the football hell versus worst division of teams that are not good enough to make the playoffs, but are not bad enough to get good draft picks, or they are the worst division ever, and whoever wins that division is going to get destroyed in the postseason. Next, we got the 6 through 10, which 6 is making them playoffs, but you're not going to win no playoffs. 7 is going to be winning a playoff game. Number 8 is making the NFC AFC Championship. Number 9 is making it to the Super Bowls. And number 10, and as always, you're guaranteed a Lombardi, which I don't think anyone's going to get a 10. Just saying. Spoiler alert. And I know we have so many teams that we have done. We got to a lot. And now.
Could I ask a random question before we dive into the teams?
Yes.
What's the better division, the NFC or the AFC North?
Well, that's easy in my opinion. AFC North, well, better or more competitive, regardless. I'm going AFC North. Maybe it's because I'm biased because I'm a Browns fan. Obviously, if you guys can't tell, I just feel like winning that division is a lot, or making the playoffs from that division is a lot more tough than the NFC North. Stu?
Oh, it's so tough that 3 teams made it, eh?
Yeah. It's a tough division, man. I mean, granted, 2 of them probably shouldn't. One of them probably should have not made it, but hey,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Vikings didn't make it last year, no. Okay.
No, the Vikings were mid, and they got hurt, and then their quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, the Vikings were 7-10 last year, and two teams made it from the NFC North. Respect that for sure. Yeah,
no, I actually agree with you, Chris. I mean, the AFC North, all 4 teams, you're like, all right, they might actually be playoff caliber.
Arguably, keyword right there, we might arguably have the best defender in the league, Myles Garrett. And we have a somewhat of a stacked offense. It's unfortunate of the recent news with Nick Chubb being out with the first 4 weeks that occurred today, actually.
No, Chubb is out. No, Chubb.
But the Browns should have a great team. What's unfortunate
like I said,
with the division they're in, that it's a stacked division. But we'll dive into it.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the Brownies when we get to the Brownies, the next one. But we should start out with the first team right over here, the Cincinnati Bengals, who, boy, in the Joe Burrow era, Joe Burrow first year got hurt, but then made it to a Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, then made it to the AFC Championship, and then last year got hurt. They did a little bit better, but they couldn't make it to the postseason. So I guess this is going to be the good question. I always ask it. Can Joe Burrow still be healthy, or is he going to get hurt? That's going to be the tough part about it, because I think that's going to be an interesting part. Also, Joe Mixon is now gone for the Bengals. That's going to be tough. But if you rewind it back, even though they lost Joe Mixon, they got some Moss coming to the Bengals. Zach Moss is coming to be a Bengal. So that's going to be an interesting point. So I feel like this is going to be an interesting thing right now with the Bengals, and I'm very intrigued. So I believe the Bengals are going to – so if you're looking at the schedule, they're going to play against the They're going to play against the Patriots, then the Chiefs. They'll probably beat the Patriots. The Chiefs could be a 50-50, but I do think the Chiefs are going to probably win that one. They're going to beat the Commanders. They're going to beat the Panthers. Ravens could be a toss-up. They're going to beat the Giants. Brownies could be a toss-up. Eagles could be a toss-up. Raiders, I think they can beat. I think they'll split with the Ravens. They'll beat the Chargers. I think they could beat the Steelers, but that could be a toss-up also. Oh, they got to play against the Cowboys at Cowboy Stadium. That could be a toss-up also. A lot of toss-ups. Titans, Brownies again, toss-up, beat the Broncos, and maybe beat the Steelers twice. So, where would I put them in there?
So what did we finish the Bengals off with last season?
They ended with a 5.
Okay, gotcha. I mean, rightfully so, because they did not make the playoffs.
They did not make the playoffs, but they were kind of in that. Yeah, technically they got eliminated the week before, but I still gave them the 5 because I just felt like they were like chugging along and doing good. I don't feel like I can put them at the 8. I still feel like the Ravens are a little bit better than the Bengals. Yeah. So I think they're a good 7 for right now. I do think they're going to make the postseason. I do feel confident right there. We'll see how it goes with the Bengals. It's just don't let Joe Burrow get hurt. And can Joe Burrow be back to Joe Burrow status? So, Chris, you're up next. What's your thoughts?
Let's not stray away from you real quick. You put him at a 7. What's the record going to be at the end of the season?
Oh, that is going to be a good question on that one. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. That was my bad. Where would my Bengals be right there? I feel like the Bengals 11-6.
Wow. Okay, that's a great record.
Even though there's a lot of 50-50s, I still think the Bengals can still be good.
I mean, yeah, in 2022 they finished 12-4. Last year they finished 9-8. Yeah.
So, Chris, what's your thoughts about your rivals? The team down south.
Down south, down in Cincinnati. Yeah, I'm going with you, Stu. I'm going to put them at a 7. Joe Burrow, he's been injured and healthy every other year. This year he should be healthy because he was injured last year. That's probably why they went 9-8. Yeah, they lost Joe Mixon to the Texans, which Texans should be amazing. Nonetheless, they have Zach Moss and they still have Jamar Chase. Do they still have Tyler Boyd, who's the other wide receiver that I'm thinking of? I think Tyler Boyd's gone. Let's see here. T. Higgins. T. Higgins is a great wide receiver. So 7. They're going to win a playoff game. Record-wise, I feel like they'll finish top 2 in the division with a record of, I'd probably say 11-6.
Ooh, look at that! You're copying me.
I was either going to go 11-6 or 10-7, but I feel like they'll have it going on because they finished in 2022, like I said, 12-4. So I feel like this year they have 11-6.
All righty, now it's up to you, Douglas.
You guys are a lot more optimistic on this team than I. That's for sure.
Ooh. I'm liking your negative.
I was not even.
You're pessimistic towards the Beals then.
A 7 did not cross my mind. I'll say that. I think when Joe Burrow's healthy, I think he's the second best quarterback, potentially. I don't know, though. I just don't like it this year. There's something off about the Bengals to me. It just something doesn't feel like it's going to bounce their way. Like I was more about a 5 and a 9 and 8.
Nice.
Darn! Wow.
I like it, Doug, because obviously I'm a Browns fan, so I love that. But
like you got to play the Browns twice. You got to play the Ravens twice. Like even the Steelers are tricky. Like you said, a ton of tough games there, and like it's not that Joe Burrow can't, but it's like, I heard some surgeons say that there's a chance that he will lose some grip strength in his throwing arm from the surgery. Like, will Joe Burrow even be back to Joe Burrow after missing most of the year, surgery on, I don't know.
Who? I mean, I don't know if you guys have been really following it. So the Steelers have Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Who's their third quarterback in the running?
Oh, for the Browns? I mean, for the
Steelers.
For the Steelers. So
Kenny Pickett, is he still there?
No, Kenny Pickett's gone. Mason Rudolph's gone.
Oh, I have no idea.
Because here's what I've been hearing about the Steelers. Justin Fields, they've been using him as wide receiver, return man. So I feel like the starting quarterback is going to be Russell Wilson. So that might give the Bengals two wins right there. Because, I mean, Russell Wilson, love the man, but he's getting up there in his age. But, all right, so you said, Doug, 9 and 8, 5 for the Bengals. Yep. Nice.
I don't have a good feeling about them this year,
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be interesting. We'll see if you might be right. One of us will be right, or maybe both of us will be wrong. And now we got to talk about the Brownies, who had an interesting last season where basically they went all in on Deshaun Watson. Like I said, this is the first full season where they had Deshaun Watson. He kind of played okay. Not really great. Not bad, but eh. But then he got hurt. Then you got another quarterback got hurt. And then the rising star, Mr. Flacco, came to save the Browns' chances to make it to the postseason, to then get destroyed by the Houston Texans really badly at Texas Stadium. So we're going to start out with you, Chris. You're a Browns fan. You've been a disgruntled Browns fan for years, decades. What is your thoughts about this 2024 Brownies?
Yeah, I guess disgruntled is a good word, but I don't think I'll ever really be disgruntled with the Browns because either you love them or you love them, whether we're winning or we're losing. So whether I go to a game going in there, we're going to win, perfect. If we're going to lose, I'm going to a game because I love the Browns. Browns last year, we were 11-6. That's an impressive record. I just think because we're missing Nick Chubb the first 4 games, that might heavily impact it. I know it's only 4 games out of 17. I still believe we're going to make the playoffs. I think the AFC North, we're either going to have 2 or 3 teams in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. I'm hoping it's 3 so the Browns can squeeze in there. My hopes, I'm not trying to be biased or anything, and my hopes are still there for the Browns, but they're not going to be as good as last year. So I'm thinking the Browns at a solid, I don't know if it's really solid, but I'm going to say the Browns 10-7.
Wow. So
I would love to be 11-6, but yeah, usually we have Joe Burrow's number. I don't think Joe Burrow's ever beat the Browns. If he has, it's only one. Once beating the Browns, but I mean that should be 2 wins right there against the Bengals. Steelers, yeah, we can easily win 1 out of 1. Whenever we go to Pittsburgh, it's a little bit harder of a competition. And then, yeah, the Ravens always give us a tough time. I know we have to play the Cowboys week 1. That's a home game, so that should be interesting because Tom Brady as his first telecast or broadcast, whatever you want to call
No
it.
way! What a game! Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna
That
win.
game's in Cleveland though, so I'm hoping we have an edge there. So yeah, Browns 6 making the playoffs like last year. Hopefully, when we do make the playoffs this year, hopefully we don't get embarrassed by a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, record wise 10-7.
Wow.
Well,
So
I'll make mine simple. I was going exactly where Chris was, so just throw me down for a 6 and 10-7 too.
wow. So you are very
Like,
optimistic.
well, I was just counting off my playoff teams, and I think 3 from the AFC East, which is going to only give me 2 here from the AFC North, but I think the Browns will be one of those 2.
Okay, so you have hope for the Brownies. This is gonna be interesting. I think for the Brownies, for me, it's gonna rest on can Deshaun play or not. Is Deshaun good or not?
Well, yeah, he can play, but is he going to perform? Is he going to connect with the wide receivers?
Yeah, is he gonna be like elite, or is it like when Strong Opinion Sports had a good take on him when Deshaun was not doing well? It's like a rich trust fund kid that just got paid a lot, and he kind of didn't like. Yeah, he didn't like perform to his highest expectations.
Because my friends and I, we always discuss this. It's like Deshaun Watson, that's a guaranteed $230 million. It's $250 million. That's guaranteed. So it doesn't really matter how you perform because you're getting that money.
Yeah.
You could perform amazingly, win the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, I got the Super Bowl and I get $250 million. Or you can be like, oh, well, we didn't win. I still get $250 million.
The smartest thing that this dude did,
but yeah, like a trust fund, like you were saying.
The smartest thing that this dude did was say he didn't want to go to Cleveland, because then Cleveland panicked like Cleveland does, and like, we're gonna throw the kitchen sink at this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm gonna have to say it was a terrible. I don't think Deshaun is worth that much money. I'm sorry.
Because I'm pretty sure that when we had initially before we signed Deshaun, I'm not sure the other teams that were in contention, but Deshaun did not want to come to Cleveland. And then I was at work, and I got a notification, Deshaun Watson signs with the Browns. I'm like, how did we pull that thing off? And then I looked at the terms. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I said, this is your boom or bust year for the Brownies. Like I said, if you have a bad year, you're going to be bad for a long. I think even if you have a good year, this is your only window of opportunity to do well in the postseason, because you're going to be bad for a long.
Why are they going to be bad though?
Because they're over cap. This is their.
Well, I mean, a lot of teams can recover from bad cap space. I mean, look at the 49ers. They're always over the cap, and they're always one of the best teams.
Yeah, but like I said, they're also in that same spot as the Brownies, where it's like this is their boom or bust, basically. But
they locked up everyone.
But like I said, you better hope. Like I said, because there's gonna be. I mean, Mark Cooper, Nick Chubb. I don't know if they'll be there next year if they don't do well. Just saying. But anyway, back to what I'm thinking. The Brownies. They got to play against the Cowboys. That would be interesting because it's out Nick Chubb. So I still think as a coin
Browns beat those Cowboys. What do you think, Doug? Browns or Cowboys? Week 1. Who's gonna win?
I mean, I like the Brownies at home.
Yeah, we know who Stu's gonna take. I was
gonna say, we know Stu's biased one. As a neutral fan, Stu, like an outdoor game, like the Cowboys are just gonna try to throw it a million times. An outdoor game with an elite defense and not really that great of a running game. Give me the home team.
I hope Myles Garrett sacks Prescott 5 or 6 times. That'd be amazing. But we'll
anyway,
see. Cool. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's what they always say.
And like I said, so that could be a coin flip. I think the Jaguars could be a coin flip also, but I do think I'm going to lean towards the Brownies, even though it's at Jacksonville. You're going to beat the Giants. You're going to beat the Raiders. You're going to beat the Commanders. Eagles is a coin flip. Bengals is a coin flip. Ravens, that might be tough. I honestly think you could lose both of them, or it's a coin flip. Chargers, I think you're going to beat the Chargers. You're going to beat the Saints. You're going to beat the Steelers. Could be a coin flip, but I think I'm probably leaning towards 2 for the Brownies. Broncos is a win. Then you play against the Steelers. The Chiefs, I think that's a loss. Bengals, we'll see. Dolphins, I think you can beat the Dolphins, and I don't know. It depends on the Ravens if they're sitting out people. So with all that said,
Doug and I both said 10-7. Not that our decision should have an effect on your opinion.
Leaning towards 5 or 6. This is a tough one. I got to think about this. Gut tells me this. I'm going to go with the 6.
Nice.
And I think I'm gonna go with the same score of 10-7.
Same
I
record.
think
Nice.
Yes, I think they'll have the same record, but we'll see. But I just don't think can this team make it to the postseason. I just don't know. It's just gonna depend on how good Deshaun is, but we will see. And next we got the Steelers, who, if you remember, we winded it back to last year. I was totally complaining about the Steelers when they made the postseason and said that they just basically got there because of other people's failures, other teams' failures. This team was not that good. They lost to a bad Patriots team that was a 1. This team was not good. And then they got destroyed against Buffalo. And then I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh my God, they're going to think this is a success. We made it to the postseason. We never had a losing record in a long time. Keep chugging. But actually, they listened to me because we got 2 new quarterbacks right now. Mason Rudolph's gone. Kenny Pickett, gone. We got Broncos country, let's ride, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields. Let's ride. He's going to ride them Permani brothers right now. He's going to get some Permanis. He's going to say, let's ride. He's going to go Yinzer mode and basically say, let's ride to the Yinzer land of Steelers country. So we'll start with you, Douglas. What is your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, man. Several thoughts, dude. Several thoughts. They're a tough team, though. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the reason that they got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields is because they all underperformed in their previous stops. So while they sound exciting on paper, it's like, Russell Wilson would have been exciting 5-7 years ago. But he doesn't really seem to have that touch anymore. Like, they have some nice pieces on offense, though. You know, they got a few nice receivers out there. They got their good, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. They obviously have TJ Watt still, so he's always good. But I don't know. I just can't get excited about this team. Like, I feel like I'm just viewing Russell Wilson from what he just did in Denver, and I can't get excited about it. Yes. So I'm going to go this might be even low. I'm feeling kind of down on them. I'm going to go with a 4 and 7, and we'll go 7 and 10-ish, maybe 6 and 11.
So you think we're going to get you at 7 and 10? So you think this is going to be the year where Tomlin's going to have a losing record?
I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's tough division. Like, their offensive coordinator is the coach for the Falcons last year, right?
Oh yeah, Arthur Smith. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So like that dude. That dude doesn't know how to coach offense super well. So I'm just looking at a team that has an older quarterback that is kind of past his prime, a bad offensive play caller that can't really utilize talent the way that it's supposed to be used. Yes. Look at Kyle Pitts and Bijan. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't see it coming together for them.
Yeah. So, like I said, I will be coming up next right over here. And I feel like this is going to be an interesting one because I feel like this is like the weird part where there's like, it's a little bit of downer year, but I'm actually impressed with the moves they made this year. But this is the Steelers. But I will tell you this, Steelers never tank no matter what. They can be 2 and 14 and they will still try to win games. Mm-hmm. But if I'm looking at their schedule, they got to play against the Falcons. I think they could beat the Falcons.
That should be an easy win.
Yeah. Then the Steelers got to play against the Broncos, which that's going to be an easy win. Then the Chargers, easy win. The Colts might be a tough one. I think I'm going to lean the Colts. The Cowboys got to play at Steelers Stadium, but it's come on. The Cowboys.
Easy win. No, I'm just kidding, Stu. Because
the Cowboys are going to be there.
Is that Cowboys game? Is that in Dallas? Or is
No,
it in
that's in
Pittsburgh?
Steelers country, but still.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, but I don't think that the Steelers are gonna win that one. Then you got to play against the Raiders. I think they can beat the Raiders.
Easily.
The Jets, I don't know. That's a toss up. They
If Aaron
can
Rodgers
beat
is
the
healthy.
Giants. They can beat the Commanders. I don't think they're going to beat the Ravens twice. The Brownies.
They
could
got a
probably
nice
be
schedule though too. Like
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
my pessimism. Yeah, I like my pessimism on them even more now.
Yeah, like
but you gotta
Doug
look at
has a
their
good point.
last
There's a lot
five.
of sir, you're naming all these teams, and these should be Steelers should have an easy, I don't know about easy schedule, but they have a lot of winnable games here for sure.
But then look at November. Bengals at Bengal Stadium. Browns at Brown Stadium. Then play against the Eagles. Then play against the Ravens. Then play against the Chiefs. Then play against the Bengals.
You said
Dude,
that's November. That's a tough November for those Steelers fans.
It's tough December. Like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
there we go. See, they might start out hot. People have hope, and then they'll just fall apart.
Yeah. Like I said, the Yinzer modes will be so happy. I think I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic on the Steelers. I think they're never going to tank. They're never going to be bad, but I don't think they're going to make the postseason. I'm going to give them the 5, in my opinion. I think they'll probably miss the playoffs. And I'll probably give them like at least. I think Tomlin will still keep his record of a winning season 9-8. All right, now it's up to you, Chris. On your rival, your Steelers.
Screw you, Stu. The only reason I say screw you is because that was exactly where I was going with that. Because Mike Tomlin, well, he's never had a losing record as a coach, right?
Yes, and he's also
the one season he was 8-1 or something. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and also
and that's still above 500. Well, it's 500, but not losing.
Oh, sorry. I was about to say. And also, fun facts: Tomlin is now the oldest current coach in the NFL as of right now, as of this recording.
Like longest tenured or oldest?
Yeah, longest tenure, 2005. Yeah, he's the longest. Yeah, since Belichick and.
Well, I don't think he's older than Andy
There's no way
Reid.
he's the oldest coach.
No, I mean the longest continuous coach, I should say.
Right. No, you're right, sir. You're right. There's no way he's the oldest. Longest tenured means you've been coaching the most out of any other coaches in the league. Oldest means you could be like 80. Well, no, probably not that, but yeah.
I mean, Andy Reid's probably like in his 70s.
Yeah, I think he's in his 60s. Yeah, he's up there.
Oh, 60s? I don't know. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, late 60s up there. But anyway, back to you. What's your thoughts about this?
Yeah, so like I said, Stu, I'm pretty much copycatting you, not on purpose, but because Mike Tomlin never had a losing record. So they're going to go 9-8.
Okay.
Because there's 17 games in a season. Are they going to make the playoffs? No, they're not going to make the playoffs. Because what you read off to us, that month of November is going to be very tough for them.
Oh.
And plus, what I also think about that quarterback situation, Russell Wilson's going to be the starter. Sure, they have Justin Fields, but they've been using Justin Fields in practice, from what I've heard, as a wide receiver option, running back, punt returner. So I don't think they're really confident in Justin Fields being a quarterback. Backup quarterback-wise, they have Kyle Allen, six-year quarterback from Houston, and then they have a rookie named John Plumlee from UCF. So unless they sign another quarterback mid-season, which I don't really think that's what Pittsburgh does, yeah, like I said, 9-8, and then missing the playoffs, so a 5 as well for me.
Unfortunately, I kind of do agree on all that. And then now we got an interesting part. We got to talk about the Baltimore Ravens, who been good in the regular season. Got that bye.
They've been great in the regular season.
They were great in the regular season, but can't get to that Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson cannot get to that Super Bowl so far. He has one roadblock, and it's the Kansas City Chiefs as the roadblock. Now,
sorry to interrupt you, Stu. I said last week, I think I said the Miami Dolphins are going to the AFC Championship game. So is that going to be the Ravens roadblock, or is that going to be the Chiefs roadblock? But yeah, I guess we'll see when we cross that bridge, you know?
We'll see when they cross that bridge. But they got somebody that's coming to the Ravens. And we got to pledge allegiance. Behold, the king is coming to the Ravens.
King Henry.
King Henry is coming to the Ravens now. May he
Who's
destroy
30 years old and almost out of prime.
Yes, but may he destroy everyone from the AFC North. Every player, including Brownies, Steelers, and Bengals players.
I'll tell you this: Derrick Henry, definitely destroyed the Browns. I forgot what year it was, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when the Browns were playing the Titans. He destroyed us. So I mean, and the Browns have to play him twice this year. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if history repeats itself.
Now this is gonna be an interesting part. So I will go first. So the Ravens, I don't think that they're gonna drop down. I think they're still in a good cap space as of right now. But the interesting, so the first game is gonna be at the Chiefs. And that's gonna be a Thursday night game. The first game
That's
of the
going to be a
Ravens
repeat of the AFC Championship game.
Yes, at Kansas City, mind you. So it's not at Baltimore, it's at Kansas City. Then they got to play against the Raiders. I think they can beat the Raiders. Then they got to play against the Cowboys at Cowboy Stadium. Okay, I think the Ravens might win that one. But then they got to play against the Bills. I think they can beat the Bills. I think they can beat the Bengals twice. Then the Commanders, they can beat them. They can beat the Bucks. Brownies, I think they could split that. Broncos, they can beat the Broncos. They're going to beat the Bengals. They're going to beat the Steelers. They could beat the Steelers twice. They're going to beat the Chargers. I think they can beat the Eagles. I think they're going to beat the Giants. I think they're going to beat the Steelers. Texans could be an interesting one on Christmas Day.
Is that in Houston or is that in Baltimore?
At Houston, baby, at Christmas.
Ooh, and that's on Christmas Day? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, is Christmas Day on a Wednesday this year?
Yes, it is. And go get your Netflix.
So there's NFL on a Wednesday. Let's go.
And Christopher, you got to get your Netflix ready because you have to watch it on Netflix.
Are you serious? So I should not cancel my subscription to Netflix?
No, you cannot cancel your subscription.
Is it really only on Netflix? Okay, well then
it's on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Man. That's 4 months away. So I guess I won't cancel my subscription because Netflix, you've not really been hitting on your shows and movies. But anyways, let's dive.
And then they got to finish with the Brownies. Oh my goodness, I think this team could definitely do well. I'm still going to give them the 8. Last season we gave the
So wait, 8 is making it to the AFC or the conference championship, right?
Yes.
And then 9's making it to the Super Bowl. All right, gotcha.
Yeah. I still feel like they're still a strong 8. They didn't lose any players. They just gained any players. The only thing is, can they beat the Chiefs? That is the only kryptonite that I would ask for the Ravens. And
so, Stuart, are you saying that it's going to be the Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game?
I think it could be a repeat. I think it could be a repeat of one of those two. And I'm thinking for the Ravens. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
That's okay.
Well,
we'll add. We forgot somebody, but that's okay.
Oh, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we got you.
Oh,
yes.
nice. Dude, who did you pick in the Cowboys and the Ravens game? You kind of mumbled. Who'd you pick?
I had some bad connections.
It's hard to pick against the Cowboys, that's for sure.
Is that game in Baltimore or is it in Dallas?
It's in Dallas.
That's gonna be a good game then. Oh, nice.
It's gonna be a heck of a game.
who
Anyway,
are you picking, Ravens or Cowboys in that game?
I'm gonna probably pick the Ravens.
Ooh, all right.
And also, I forgot about this. 13-4 for the Ravens.
Same as last season. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think they're still dumb. I think they look like it looks like also a good schedule for them. So I still think I'm going to probably pick them. Now it's your turn, Christopher. What is your thoughts on?
All right, so Stuart, you picked 8, which means they go to the AFC Championship game, and you did say that they will probably be facing the Chiefs. Nonetheless, it's hard to root against. Well, it's easy for me to root against the Ravens because I'm a Browns fan, obviously.
All that pain and suffering, all them Super Bowls that could have been the Browns if they didn't move them.
Being unbiased, it's hard to root against the Ravens because Lamar Jackson reigning MVP, and piggybacking off of Lamar Jackson being the reigning MVP, is he going to have a MVP caliber year like he had last season? I'm going to say no. But I will still have them making the playoffs and winning a game. So put me down as a 7 for the Ravens.
What?
Is that a surprise? All right, Stu.
Wow.
You're gonna expect those words come out of my mouth from a Browns fan. So Ravens at a 7. Well, I put the Bengals at 10-7. I put the Steelers at 9-8. What I put the Browns at 10-7 as well, right? Ravens, yeah. I feel like the Ravens are going to win the division. Unfortunate to say, as a Browns fan, Ravens. So you put them at 13-4, being an 8, making it to the conference championship. I put them as a 7, winning the first round of the playoffs. But I know that you have to take in consideration if they get a bye. But Ravens 12-5, unfortunately. But winning the AFC North at 12-5.
Yeah, unfortunately, I will say this. How's it feel that the Ravens won 2 Super Bowls as a Browns fan?
Oh, as a Browns fan, it's terrible to read that and hear that. Absolutely.
Well, that could have been your Super Bowl.
As an unbiased sports fan, it's good for the AFC North. Like, I'm a huge Buckeyes fan. Obviously, college football. If I was a Big Ten fan instead of a Buckeyes fan, if Michigan, Michigan won because the Big Ten, that'd be great. Just like like the Ravens winning it for the AFC North. But all right, doesn't matter. Doug, how you feeling about these Ravens this season?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the sake of time, I'm going to make it easy. I agreed with Stu pretty hard there. I like them as an 8 and 13-4.
Ooh,
Nice.
You agree with everything on that one. That's at least a good one.
I mean, I think I agree with Chris. I don't think Lamar will have a great season, but I think that's because they're just a better team. King Henry will have a nice year, fits in with them well, and defense will be great again. So
it will be interesting. And then now we went from a lot of good teams to a lot of clunkers and one good team. I like to joke that
who are we starting off with for the AFC West? What team?
Oh, the greatest team of all, the Chargers.
Oh, here we go.
My God, this team was bad this year. Honestly, one tweet, your name tree had one tweet, and it represented, and it's the Chargers account, and they just said pain. And that is one that represents their last season. They just had a lot of close games they lost to. They gave up 60 points against the Raiders at one point. Justin Herbert got hurt. But now.
Wait, was that this past season when they gave up like 70 points to the Dolphins or something like that? Or was that 2 seasons ago?
Broncos. That was the Broncos.
All right.
Chargers.
We're going to talk about the Broncos eventually.
Yeah. The Broncos. I'm sorry. Chargers gave up 60 points against the Raiders. Let's put it this way. And I remember that game because they literally the week before, they gave up 3 points. They went from 3 to give up 60. But anyway, but there's somebody also who's coming here back from the NFL. And it's been a while. And Douglas, you might know this man right over here. A Harbaugh is returning to the NFL as a Charger. Yay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But I think this is the rebuilding year. If I'm looking at their schedule, they're going to play against the Raiders. It's going to be toss-up. Panthers, I think they can beat the Panthers. I don't think they can beat the Steelers. They're not going to beat the Chiefs. Broncos is a toss-up. Cardinals is a toss-up. Saints is a toss-up. They're going to lose the Browns. I don't think Titans is a toss-up. They're going to lose to the Bengals. They're definitely going to lose to the Ravens. Falcons is a toss-up. Chiefs are going to lose again. They're going to lose to the Bucks. It's toss-up. I think they could beat the Patriots, and then they might beat the Raiders. Don't feel confident with this one. I think this is a rebuilding year. I'm going to give them a 3. I think they'll do a little bit better, but I just do not feel as confident right there. And I feel right now I'm going to give them 6 and 11. I think they'll do a little bit better, but I just don't feel confident. Now it's your turn, Christopher. What is your thoughts?
You're giving the Chargers a 3 and a 6-11 record. Okay.
Yeah.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. I think Justin Herbert had an off year last season. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong there.
Yeah.
Correction either.
I think Justin Herbert is going to have a way better season this year.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers finished 5-12, so that's not good by any means. But Chargers picked up J.K. Dobbins from the Ravens. They also picked up Gus Edwards from the Ravens. Wide receiver wise, not looking too great. Actually, it's not looking great at all. They got that wide receiver rookie from Georgia, Ladd McConkey. Oh man, yeah. Wide receiver wise, it's not gonna be good for the Chargers. But sir, what did you say? You said 3 wise, and what was the record you put them at?
6-11.
Okay, and they were 5-12 last year. So you're just saying that they're gonna be at a little bit of record this season.
Oh yeah, and also last year we gave them the 2 as their final record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like, you didn't really say it, but they're gonna have a better record than last year. So I'm gonna put them at oh man. I'll put them at a 5. They're just gonna miss the playoffs. It's a hot take. It's a wild take. Say as you want it. But Justin Herbert, I feel like he'll have a better year, and put them at a 5, missing the playoffs, but 8 and 9.
Wow. What? I don't know.
Well,
They lost.
I'll one up that one.
It's solely
I'll one up that
because
one.
I don't think the Raiders and the Broncos are gonna be as good as the Chargers this year.
Well, exactly. So I'll do you one better here too. And Jim Harbaugh, we trust, man. And Jim Harbaugh, we trust. They got to have 7 teams from the AFC make the playoffs. This is the team from the AFC West.
What?
Give me a 6.
What?
10 and 7.
What?
Oh,
I know you like Harbaugh, but still.
Dude, they're rebranding their team. They're rebranding, boys.
This is a rebuild year.
All right, hey, let's hear dugout. I
was to say, you haven't even listened to me, man. Like, chill and let me talk for a second.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
It's Harbaugh, man. How's Harbaugh not going to get back to the playoffs, man? Playoffs? That's all that man does, make the playoff.
No, the same
so, Stu, here's the thing. They're rebuilding. They're rebuilding in a different way, but a Harbaugh way that's going to be able to beat up on the Broncos and the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going to get it done, man. They got Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They got some playmakers on defense still. It's going to be a hard-nosed physical football team that's going to run the ball a little bit, and they're going to sneak into the playoffs.
Oh, my goodness. Can you believe it? We got hot and heated.
Didn't Harbaugh pick up a player from Michigan and put him on the Chargers team? Not him specifically, but the Chargers drafted a player from Michigan.
Yeah, I can't remember who, but yeah, I think they did somewhere in the later rounds.
Yeah, I don't think they picked anyone number 1, but they picked, I think.
Well, they got that Joe Alt out of Alabama because they're trying to rebuild the offensive line. They're going to protect Herbert. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play good defense. The Harbaugh way.
We'll see how it goes. The Harbaugh way.
Oh wait, so Doug, you said 6. I'm sorry. What record did you say they were going to be finishing?
10 and 7.
My goodness.
All right.
I think they just play in a bad division, so I think they'll sneak in.
Yes. And now, this is
great.
It's going to be so. We think all improvements for the Chargers, but we'll see which one of us will be right or all of us will be wrong on this hot take right now on the Chargers, the most heated part of the podcast so far of this year. So next, we're going to talk about the Denver Broncos, where they let's ride Russell Wilson out of the season. He is now gone. Last year, they were kind of...
Was it Bo Nix, baby?
They were gone. They did bad in the beginning. They did a little bit better. They sort of made it, but they missed the playoffs. We gave them the 4 at the end of the season. Bo Nix is there, but there's no more Russell Wilson. A lot of players are gone. Chris, we're going to start with you. What is your thoughts on the Broncos?
I mean, it was time. Like I said, Russell Wilson, he was 40 years young or 40 years old, however you want to perceive it. It's time for the Broncos to switch things up. They have Zach Wilson from the Jets, Jared Stidham, who played for the Patriots for a long time backup. And then they have Bo Nix. It's such a young quarterback core that they have. They're eventually during the season they need to sign a veteran quarterback because I don't see any of these quarterbacks performing well unless Bo Nix, unless he blows us all out of the water and just becomes the next Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes.
In his 12 years of college, he might have had development. Dude played in the college for so long. I think he played for 6 years. I said, with how long he played in college, man, he's got so much experience. I feel like that dude was in college for 9 years.
24, and usually when you leave college, you're 22, 21, right around there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think he played for several years at Auburn and then transferred to Oregon.
Yeah. So
yeah, and then looking at their running back core, I guess starting running back would be they have Samaje Perine. He played for the Bengals for a little bit. They have Javonte Williams, wide receiver wise, real quick. Marvis Mims, who's in his second year. He had a pretty good rookie campaign last year. Besides that, sir, what did we finish the Broncos at last season with?
They ended with a 4. We gave them a 4.
Okay. This is the team I'm going to decline it. They're going to be a 3.
Oh, okay.
Last season they were 8 and 9. This year their stock is going to be a 3, and they're going to go from 8 and 9 to I'm going to say 4 and 13.
Wow.
That's hard to say. It's hard to say because you don't really want to see a team only have 4 wins out of 17 games, but yeah, 4 and 13 for the Broncos.
Oh my God! You think a giant decline for the Broncos Nation? Broncos Nation, let's die. That's what I said. There's no let's ride.
let's ride, let's die. Broncos.
Or I like to say, as your name, sure you had a joke. The ride never ends as a Broncos fan. The ride never ends. Now, it's Douglas. What's your thoughts about these Denver sad Broncos fans?
Ooh, Doug might be busy. If he's busy, Stuart, we can jump to you.
All right, we'll go with myself. Anyway, I'll just head to myself right over here.
Hello?
Oh, you're there, Doug?
Yeah, I've been here. Sorry,
Doug, what do you think of the Broncos going to do this season?
Sorry, gentlemen. I thought I was there. I'm on the same train of thought as you, Mr. Theodore. I don't see a great improvement here. I see a team with a nice decline. I was going to go about 6 and 11 and a 4.
Oh, so you think there might be? You think they're going to be the same?
Yeah, I don't see much room for optimism, but they play in a bad division. They'll get a couple of wins here and there. Bo Nix has some fun qualities, but I don't see a team that's really competitive here.
But I thought they were going to be great. They're going to be
Doug, the way you worded that was you said that they're going to be 6 and 11, put them at a 4. The way I read it was put them as a 6, they're going to be 11 and 4.
Oh.
Just the way of interpreting things.
Yeah.
So a 4 is 6 11.
But anyway, I guess now we're going to go to right here. I will be next. I just do not feel optimistic on the Broncos. I think they're going on the decline. They were not good even with Russell Wilson. They were okay. But then they got to play against the Seahawks. That's going to be a loss. Steelers, loss. Buccaneers, loss. I think they'll lose to the Jets. I think they'll split against the Raiders. They'll split against the Chargers. Saints could be a split. I think they could beat the Panthers. They're going to lose to the Ravens. They're going to lose to the Chiefs. They're going to lose to the Falcons. They're going to split against the Raiders. They're going to lose to the Browns, lose to the Colts, split against the Chargers, lose against the Bengals, and then they're going to finish it off with against the Chiefs. I'm glad I
put them at 4 and 13 then.
Yeah, I do not feel confident right now. I'm going to go 3 and 14 for the record. I'm going to give them a 2. I think they're going to be bad.
Wow.
I think they're going to be awful. They're not. I have no confidence.
So Doug thinks out of us 3, Doug thinks they're going to be the best out of us 3 at 6 and 11 and a 4. I'm at 4 and 13. Sue, you at 3 and 14. Wow. Woo.
Yeah, I think they could be at the 1. I think they could be at the 1, in my opinion. But I just feel like there's just way more worser teams, in my opinion. And
like I said, the Broncos, because they have a young quarterback group, hopefully, or they should sign a veteran quarterback mid-season when they're really slumping. But what veteran quarterback are you gonna sign? Joe Flacco's out of the picture.
Cam Newton.
Oh, honestly, that might work. That might work.
I mean, he's out of the league, but anyway. But now we got two more teams right now. We got some Raiders in Vegas, Raider Nation right now, who was kind of mid last season. The Raiders were kind of like, They ended with the 4. They did win some good games, but they kind of were like, I was not impressed with that. Jimmy Garoppolo was not really that great as a quarterback, to be honest with you. And he's now gone.
Where's Jimmy Garoppolo even playing this year?
Oh, I think he's a backup to the Rams now.
Oh my!
What a downgrade! Yeah, what a downgrade!
Dude, he had his entire career in front of him. He played for the 49ers. I think when he made it, they made it to the NFC Championship game, and then he was on top of the world. And now he's playing for backup for whoever you said, sir. I'm sorry.
The Rams.
The Rams. Oh man.
Yeah, Pretty Boy did not have a good. It was not looking good. So.
I'm sorry. I did call him Jimmy Garoppolo because the one year I picked him up on my fantasy football team and he played like crap and he blew. So Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry, Jimmy, if you're listening to this podcast, you're a way better athlete than I am. But fantasy-wise,
yeah, that's probably true on that one. But I know I fit shamed Chris. I'm sorry. I shamed you. But anyway, Douglas, what is your thoughts on the Raiders? Also, I should wait. Gardner Minshew is not going to be the starter for the Raiders. So
yeah,
he will be the starter.
Yes.
Well, and that's where I was going to start with this. Is like, I don't know, man. I mean, they went with Aiden O'Connell last year, and like, I don't know. It just kind of feels like there's a lot of uncertainty there, which I never liked. Granted, Minshew was pretty good for the Colts last year, but I feel the most down on this team out of any team we've talked about today. Like, I mean, they have some nice pieces. You know, you got Brock Bowers and you got Devontae Adams, which is nice. And then you got what's their defensive end's name there?
Max Crosby.
Yeah, you got Max Crosby, who's another nice player, but you lost Josh Jacobs, which is a blow.
Oh yeah.
I'm not super hot on this team. Like, I think they're going to be like a 3 and like 5 and 12.
Oh, you do not think that there's
we are not confident for this AFC West because every team we talked about, well, I mean,
I was confident on the Chargers.
I mean, besides the Chargers, but like I said, I was not confident on any of these teams, to be honest with you. So far.
Well, yeah, I mean, this might be the worst division. It's right up there with a couple of them, but this might be the worst division in football.
So you gave them 5 and 12 for the Raiders?
Yeah, I'll give them 5 and 12, but I'm going to give them a 3. Like, I don't think they'll be competitive, really.
Yeah, and then like I said, I'm going to be next right over here, which I'm going to have to copy you, Douglas. Don't feel confident with the Raiders. That's why I always joke, like, this division, I feel like it's like, in my opinion, there's like 2 level 2s, 3 level 2 teams, and then there's a level 50 team in the Chiefs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's why the Chiefs have been dominant. Now
it's their division to lose.
Yeah. And they're not gonna lose. They're not gonna be in the wild card. Come on.
I mean, when you're playing these caliber of teams twice a season, you should get 6 wins. Well, I mean, we'll say you're not gonna be perfect, but you should easily be able to get 5 out of 6.
Yeah, 5 or at least 4. 4 is like a bad at this point. Like, this is like
spot on.
This is spot on. So they got to play against the Chargers. That's a toss-up. They'll lose against the Ravens. I think they could beat the Panthers. They're not going to beat the Brownies. Broncos is a toss-up. Steelers is a toss-up. They're going to lose to the Rams. They're definitely going to lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Bengals, lose to the Dolphins. Broncos is a toss-up. Lose to the Chiefs again. Lose to the Buccaneers. Lose to the Falcons. Jaguars is a loss. Saints could be a toss-up, and then they end it with the Chargers, which probably both teams doesn't really matter because both teams are eliminated. So I feel sort of the same way with you, Douglas, as I am. I do not feel confident. I think they're the 3, and I'm going to go probably the same score. I think 5 and 13. I just don't feel as confident. Maybe Bo Nix might be good. I just think they're going to
Bo
go.
Nix isn't even on
Plays
his
for the
team.
Broncos.
Sorry, Gardner. I know. Sorry,
It's all right.
Gardner Minshew. Sorry, that's Broncos. But let's digress. Chris, take us off. What do you think about these
Sir,
Raiders?
oh man, what did I put the Broncos at?
You gave them a 3 and a 4 and 13.
Okay. So I gave him a 3 at 4 and 13.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like I said,
Are the Raiders, in my opinion, are the Raiders going to be better or worse or even than 4 and 13? I think the Raiders are going to be 5 and 12.
Okay.
Still losing record. That's terrible.
Oh, so you're going up 5 and 13 also?
Well, no, I
5
put
and
them at
12.
5 and 12. Did I say 5 and 13? I'm sorry, 5 and 12.
Oh, 5 and 12? Oh,
Yeah, there's only
right.
17 games, you know. If there's 18 games, wow, man, I hope that never. I hope. Loki, my friends and I were talking about there should be no preseason games and just have 19 or 20 games in the regular season. Anyways, that's a different conversation.
I'd be way better.
Raiders 5 and 12. Yeah, either a 3 or 4, but I'll go right there with you guys with a 3.
My God, we all copied each other.
Isn't a 3 still beating the bad teams, or what's the difference between a 3 and a 4?
You're beating up the bad teams, but you're not really good. 4 is like, okay, you're a little bit better, but you're kind of mid. You're like, eh. Like the Broncos last season is probably a good example of a 4 team. You know what I mean?
So I'm going to have to remember to take some pictures because I think it's September 29th. That is a Sunday, and the Browns play in Las Vegas. I'm going to that game. So I'll take some pictures. Let's go Browns.
Let's go Brownies. And then finally, we got to talk about these Chiefs who, they had a tough season last year. I mean, they lost to the Lions. Then they lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Broncos at one point. And nobody thought that they were going to do well. And then they still won a Super Bowl. So, and I remember when Douglas thought that they were still going to beat the Dolphins. We thought that they were going to lose to the Ravens, and they still decided to keep winning. So, we'll start with you, Douglas. What's your thoughts about? Actually, we should start with Christopher. What's your thoughts about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs?
I mean, how many times has he won MVP?
2, 3.
If you don't know, but did he win the Super Bowl MVP from last season?
I think he might have. I don't know.
Do we know that? We're too casual. If we don't know the answer off the rip, it's all right.
Yeah, but
so the Chiefs, yeah. What?
Oh, I was just saying, what's your thoughts about the Chiefs?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The Chiefs finished 11-6 last year. Sure, they won the heavily contested, heavily sarcasm, AFC West. Mahomes, yeah. If Mahomes not going to what if he ever gets injured? Right now they have Carson Wentz as a backup quarterback.
Oh my God, he's still in the league. Remember when Carson Wentz?
Yeah, that's what ESPN is saying right now. I'm reading the roster right now.
My God. Do you remember that when they were like, he was so much better than Dak? I remember you Eagles fans saying that. And Carson Wentz is way better than Dak.
So for some reason, the Chiefs, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they always make it work. They always make it happen. I'm going to put the Kansas City Chiefs put me at an 8.
Ooh.
And I know last week's podcast, I had the Dolphins going 8. So I guess what I'm saying is it's gonna be the Chiefs versus Dolphins in the AFC Championship game. But I'm more confident between those two teams about the Chiefs making it to back-to-back. How many back-to-backs AFC Championship games they've made it to? So they were 11-6 last season, 12-5 this season. 12-5.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. And now, Douglas, what's your thoughts about these Chiefies?
Keep it nice and easy. Chris nailed it. I mean, they're the defending champs. You got to beat them to be them type of thing. So I'll give them the 8 and the 12-5 as well.
Wow.
A lot of copycats this week. Not just you, Doug. I've been copycatting all you guys all night long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great minds think alike. Stuart, Stuart, what are you thinking over here for the Chiefs?
I mean, I'm thinking the Chiefs, and I kind of agree with Sean in Opinion Sports when it was last year when they talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. When it's like, oh, they lost this person. Oh my God, they lost Eric the Enemy. They're gonna go bad. I'm like, as long as you have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes still in the Chiefs, they're still contenders. You can lose a lot of players, still contenders. Offense can be bad, still contenders. Now, this is going to be interesting in the regular season. They got to play against the Ravens. That will be the first opening game. That'll be interesting. I think that could be a toss-up. I think they can beat the Bengals. They're going to beat the Falcons. They're going to beat the Chargers. They're going to beat the Saints. They're going to 49ers. That would be an interesting one. At 49er Stadium, that's going to be an interesting. That could be a toss-up. They're going to beat the Raiders. They'll beat the Buccaneers. They'll beat the
They're
Broncos.
playing the 49ers, so that's a rematch of the Super Bowl. So rematch of the AFC Championship game, rematch of the Super Bowl in the same season. Oh,
yeah, they're going to beat the Bills.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Stu.
Yeah, I think they can beat the Bills. I think they can beat the Panthers. They're going to beat the Raiders. They're going to beat the Chargers, the Brownies. That could be a toss-up, but I think that they're going to beat that. I think they can beat the Texans. Steelers, they're going to beat them. And then finally, the Broncos. I think this team is going to be legit. And I think we're going to see them in the Super Bowl for the third time. I'm giving them the 9.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. And I'm going to go 13 and 4.
Wow.
I think they're going to go to the Super. I think they're going to do the three-peat. You have Patrick Mahomes. You have Andy Reid as your head coach. Enough said.
Can't doubt
it's a combination. So, later discussion. Think about it. Sleep on it. Better quarterback coach combination: Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. That, like I said, sleep on it. Don't give me your opinion.
I mean, at the moment, it's easy though.
Yeah. That's going to be a tough moment. And like I said, can the Chiefs finally do in the Super Bowl era where it's never happened? It happened in the NBA. It happened in baseball. It happened in hockey. Never happened in the Super Bowl era. Can they do the three-peat? We'll see. And then look at that. We're all done with the podcast. Now, do you have any other thoughts on this final recap of our preview for the NFL season right now?
It's almost football season, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
What's our podcast for next week? What's that going to be?
All right, we have the idea for next week because next week we're going to make it interesting. We already have predictions right now. Now we're going to predict who's going to make the playoffs this season. We're going to make it interesting, and we're going to make a $5 bet on seeing who will be accurate on who's going to make the playoffs, who's going to win each division, who's going to make the wild card, who's going to win in the playoffs, and namely, we're going to make this high, who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Nice. So for everyone, for the first round, we're just doing 1 point each. Basically, if you choose the victor, and then after the Super Bowl, the winner gets $10 netted, $15 total.
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it. We've got to predict these all right here. And like I said, this is pretty much it. Look at that. We got it done. We did all of our predictions. I can't believe it. We just got one more week, and then dun 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 dun. I'm so excited for that.
Beautiful.
The greatest soundtrack to my life. But like I said, everybody, I will see you later, everybody, because I want to see you later, Mr. Gator. So take care. Bye-bye.